Hello everyone, welcome back to the Opulent Life. Today we are doing an unboxing of an unusual item which we normally do not unbox here at our channel, and it is an electronics item. This time it's a cell phone, a rather unusual but very classy cell phone, and this is from Motorola. It's called the MotoRazr, the new model launched in 2020, and they've come up with a new one, the 5G version, 2021 model. However, we're using the regular model as our unboxing. So this is what it comes in. It's a Motorola Razr, and you guys may have remembered that the original MotoRazr was an iconic phone, very popular, massively outsold many locations worldwide, and many iterations of the original came, but they could never really match the original. However, it was a very successful phone, ran for a long period of time, and I could see it almost forever in the hands of almost everyone, and especially in the 2000s generation, and maybe in early 2010s also. So they've revitalized that old design, merged it with new technology, and came out with this new Razr. So we're gonna take a look at it, see how it feels, go through some of the specs, and do an unboxing. So this is what comes in. A very unusual looking box, diamond shaped, and almost looks like it came out of a space capsule, or might be some kind of relic or artifact that you can insert into an alien machine and it would activate something. There's a glass see-through top over here underneath the plastic that I can see. Let's take out the plastic first. All right, very satisfying taking that off. So underneath this glass top, let's see how we open this up. Looks like we actually have to open this plastic part up. So this is this plastic cardboard casing, all matte black. Actually has some graining, so it's not purely matte finish. Then you have the Motorola logo on, that's one side. This side just tells you not to open it like sideways, keep it upright. So we're going to do that. And there's just some stickers at the bottom, which I think we might have to remove. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I did take it off just to test it out. So that may have been because of it. So let's take this off. And inside, you're presented with this. The phone, and then there's a case in the back. Let's take out, see what this contains. Almost looks like a glass carrying case, something that you would put your spectacles or glasses in, reading glasses particularly. And here it is. I think there's a user manual. You have a USB-C to A cable. This is, I'm assuming, for the SIM card. This is the unlocked version, by the way. This is not the one that comes with Verizon or any other carrier. Their charging port. Interestingly, I don't see any cable. I do have the 3.5mm to USB-C cable. Yeah, interestingly, there's no braided cable that usually comes along. Interesting. I guess something you would have to purchase aftermarket. Turbo power. Really interesting. Okay, so let me check. All right, so putting this case aside, let's look at the phone itself. So this is like a music stand itself. If you notice, there's holes at the bottom of the case. There's some information on the bottom that are serial numbers and stuff like that. And then, yeah, you can basically place your phone in here and then turn music on, and it will give you better audio performance. So let's take a look at the phone itself. Now this is in the blush gold finish. So it's got the smooth metal back. Yeah, as you can see, it's a flip phone design. We're going to get into it in a second, but I just want to look at the phone itself and just appreciate its form factor. does feel very nicely built. It's got this hinge over here. It is a foldable touchscreen like the Samsung Galaxy and other phones of this category. There's no fingerprint touch sensor. The newer 5G version has it. That's your charging port. That's for your SIM card. And yeah, your SIM card. Just one speaker at the bottom, and there's no like dual speaker system on this. You fold this up, and here you go. You have this 6.2-inch OLED screen, and then on the front, this is also a touch screen, but this is 2.7 inches. And yeah, so that's the form factor. There's some micro buttons on the side, one for the power, and then I'm assuming this is for the volume. This is a volume rocker. You do have the camera over here, which is a 48 megapixel camera. The phone is powered by 8 GB of RAM. There's 2800 milliamps of battery power in this, so plenty of battery for your needs. And it runs on the Android platform. This is not your iPhone iOS system. 256 GB of storage. And yeah, so this is a rather unusual phone in today's world, because flip phones were the norm 20 years back, but now the iPhone has kind of become the standard. Bar phones with fixed screens are now the standard of smartphones. But it's nice to have something that's different come out once in a while. It does feature 1080 pixel video quality, auto HDR, and the selfie camera is 20 megapixels. If you fold this up, so actually you can take it like this. Basically the selfie camera is 20 megapixel, but with the full version, if you like use it as a back camera, it's 48 megapixel according to the specifications. So just turn this on by pressing this button over here, and here it's powered by Android. You can see there is a little bit of a bulge where the hinges are. It's not as apparent when the display completely powers up, but it is apparent when you look at it at certain angles. There is a little bit of a plasticky feel sometimes when you place it. It's not as smooth as the Galaxy, where it feels like it's part of the entire phone. Over here you can, with the light playing, you can noticeably see the bulges on the screen itself. And that was just the power on button, and I'm gonna wait for it to fully power on before we test it out. What else can we talk about? So according to the specs, there should be a fingerprint sensor. See? So I have no SIM card in here, so we can just test it out for the sake of it. Touchscreen is smooth, but you might be seeing some lines on here because of the display. However, when I move my finger around, I can feel that bulge. When you're looking at the display itself, you don't notice it unless there's some light play, like right now. Otherwise, if you put your finger at the hinge point, then you feel the bulge, the recess, not really the bulge. The bulge is on the other side, but the recess in the center, that's what you feel. Otherwise, it's pretty good. You don't necessarily get to experience like, oh, it's like a screen has dents in it or something. Although right now from this angle, it will look like it has dents because of how the light is playing and how this is not perfectly straight. So let's take a look at some of the other features on here. Here's the camera. One second. So pretty decent camera quality, I would say. And go to video. Not a whole lot of options being offered on this, but there are some adjustments that you can do. You have image stabilization, you have torch, you have the mic, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a huge array of options. In photo mode, let's see if there's anything different. So you have some zoom capabilities. Right. So you can use this button for taking pictures, or you can use the center button over here, up to you. And Let's take a look at how bright this flash can be. That's automatic. Let's see. So that's your flashlight over there. Pretty strong. I think it'd be decent enough for a close-up photograph. It is a USB Type-C charging port, so keep that in mind. It won't work with your standard iPhone if you try to attempt it. Please don't do that. It does record video in 4K at 30 frames per second. If you use 1080p, it will record at 30, 60, or 120 frames per second, depending on your choosing. So depending on what you want it to do, basically. So right now I'm on video. Let's see if I can change the options. So here are all the options over here. So you have time-lapse, split color, slow motion, live, filter, pro, group selfie, portrait, a bunch of options available for you. And notice how it flips things over as you rotate it. The gyro sensor is pretty good. It doesn't flip the entire screen like you see on the iPhone. It just switches the orientation of the words, which is pretty cool, something different. Now, for you tech geeks out there, I'm going to read out the specs for the platform and the CPU. So it's a Qualcomm SM7250 Snapdragon 765G 5G chipset. And then as far as the OS goes, the Android 10, it's upgradable to Android 11. It's got an octa-core CPU, 1 by 2.4 gigahertz, Cryo 475 Prime, 1 by 2.2 gigahertz, Cryo 475 Gold, and 6 by 1.8 gigahertz, Cryo 475 in the silver model. So looks like the color, depending on the spec sheet, it changes this chipset. So this is the gold version. So I'm thinking maybe that this is the 1 by 2.2 gigahertz Cryo 475. So are they saying that this is a little bit faster than the silver version? Possibly. But that's kind of strange actually also. There's no card slot, so you can't add in more memory by adding a SD card slot. Not a lot of phones do that anyway. You can't do it on the iPhone. It's fixed memory. So it's a feature that's pretty much long gone from most phones these days. It uses a nano SIM, so you can use a nano SIM or an eSIM, but you know, always good to have that option of a regular SIM card if you need to. It does have a water repellent coating, so don't dip it into the water, guys. I mean, it just offers some splash resistance, like in case it's raining outside or something, it won't get damaged, but I would avoid water with these type of phones. The screen itself doesn't seem like it's fully tethered back. It gives you a tap feel, so it might be something that, you know, there is a bit of a gap to help it fold easily. So the fold itself is pretty silent. It's not like a click that you might be used to on other older phones that actually click locked. This is very silent, and you do get the click feel, but it's very muted, and the click is not so super satisfying. Looking at the front display, let's see if we can use some gesture controls, which I've heard about, that can activate the camera. Okay, so it looks like it has a different gesture control. See, there you go. There's the front camera. Okay. Okay, let's try the slider to turn on the flashlight. There you go, that's the flashlight. And then turns it off. So the gesture control thing is kind of cool. That's not something I see on the iPhone, and I really appreciate that they put that feature in here. It feels really premium, to be honest, guys. It's very premium. You can put on a bunch of cases here, and the feel is really fantastic. And that's how it kind of won a lot of people's hearts when the original Razr came out. It felt so premium and so thin. It is very thin also. If you look at it from the side, you fold it out. profile is very slim, so it's much thinner than your regular iPhone. So that is a good feature to have. Display is pretty nice, decent. I just wish the recess was not as prominent as I'm seeing it right now. Now, as far as one-hand operation goes, as you can see with my gloves, I'm kind of struggling. So even if you had this one-handed, I think with the brushed aluminum, it's going to be very hard to like flip it open with one hand. You would definitely need two hands to open this up and answer any phone calls. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It obviously does have Wi-Fi and 3G, 5G capabilities. And what else? So yeah, so in a nutshell, that is the MotoRazr, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Again, I'm not a cell phone expert, but I just tried to give you guys an update on this phone. I actually bought this for my dad because he really likes the design, so I decided to like do an unboxing before I hand it over to him. I'm an iPhone user. I don't intend on going Android anytime soon. However, for Android, guys, if I were to get a second phone, I think this one would be it. Maybe not in this color, but a different one. However, this is a nice option to have as an alternative phone if you have the money. The cost is $1,500, but I got this from Amazon for $699. Christmas deal, Thanksgiving deal, I don't know. Maybe the new model coming out with the 5G and new features might have something to do with it. But right now, this is a good deal, and it's also unlocked, so you can use any SIM card on it. So if you're interested, check out Amazon, check out other deals that are coming through the doors. Until then, take care, guys. Bye-bye.